Imagine this. Back in 2000, at Cornell University, a fascinating experiment unfolded under the guidance of Professor Thomas Gilovich. Picture a bunch of students, just like you, divided into groups. From each group, one student was picked at random. The twist? The others were given a secret mission to meet in a specific room at a specific time, all for a so-called project. So what happened next? Let's dive in. The experiment starts in a room where every chair is set up to face the door. Professor Thomas Gilovich picks one student from each group, holds them back a bit, and then gives them a special task. They have to wear a t-shirt with a famous person on it, like Martin Luther King Jr. or Bob Marley. Then they're told to head to the room, knowing they'll be late. As they walk in, every head turns to see who's coming through the door, making them feel super embarrassed because they think everyone is focused on them being late and their unique t-shirts. Afterwards, the researchers asked these students how many people they thought would remember this awkward entrance. The students guessed about half the room would definitely remember them and their t-shirts. But guess what? Only 10% of people in the room actually remembered the moment, which is way less than what they thought. This teaches us about the spotlight effect. It's when we think everyone is paying more attention to our mistakes or what we do well than what they really are. We might worry a lot about what others think, especially if we're feeling a bit shy or anxious, believing that everyone is watching and judging our every move. But this experiment shows that most people aren't really noticing that much about us at all. This is super important to remember if you're ever feeling nervous around others. It might seem like everybody's focused on you, but in reality, most people are too caught up in their own lives to notice. So it's okay to relax and be yourself. Think about it. Most folks are too caught up in their own stuff, worrying about their own lives and not what you're up to. Once you really wrap your head around this idea, you'll notice a big drop in how nervous you feel around others. Sure, it sounds straightforward, but truly buying into the spotlight effect isn't easy. So I'm going to share a cool two-step trick I learned to really drill this concept into my brain. First up, you've got to get better at noticing what's going on in your own mind. Believe it or not, we each have around 50 to 70,000 thoughts zipping through our brains every day, and most of us don't even realize it. That's why practicing mindfulness, like meditation, is key. Meditation is all about clearing your mind and trying to focus on just one thing, maybe your breathing. Once you get the hang of it, you'll start to see how your thoughts mostly revolve around you, stuff that happened, stuff you're worried about, and so on. And here's the kicker, you'll start to notice that less than 1% of your thoughts are actually about the other people you bump into or see around. So by becoming more aware of how you think, you'll realize that most people are the same. They're too busy with their own thoughts to be thinking about you. This insight can really help cut down on feeling self-conscious or worried about what others think, because you'll understand that just like you, they're mostly thinking about themselves. After you've gotten better at noticing your own thoughts, there's another fun exercise you can try, which I call swapping shoes. Here's how it goes. Next time you're somewhere with lots of people, pick someone out of the crowd. Really focus on them and try to guess what they might be thinking. Imagine stepping into their life. What kind of problems do they have? What might be worrying them or stressing them out? What insecurities might they be dealing with? Try to think about all the different things they could be thinking about. This swapping shoes exercise helps you practice the idea that most people tend to be thinking about their own stuff just like you are. The more you do this, the more you'll start to see that the spotlight effect is real, that we often believe we're being noticed more than we actually are. Understanding this can make you feel less worried about what others think, because you'll realize they're not really focusing on you that much. It might feel a little sad at first, realizing that everyone is so caught up in their own lives, but actually it's pretty freeing. It feels like a big weight lifted off your shoulders, and you'll start feeling more relaxed and free around others.